Imagine a city so bright, it could be seen from the stars. A city where every wall, every column, every road was built from blinding white limestone and hammered gold. A city that blazed like a second sun rising from the desert floor. The priests said it was blasphemy. The people whispered it was madness. But one man and one pharaoh believed it was the only way to bring the gods back to earth. This is the story of the architect of dreams. Egypt, roughly 1350 BCE. The empire stretches further than any army could march in a month. The Nile floods on time. The harvests are rich. By every measure, Egypt is perfect. But Pharaoh Khentkare does not care about perfect. He cares about eternal. Since childhood, Khentkare had visions. Not dreams, visions. The sun god Ra, standing at the threshold of a great door of light, waiting. Always waiting. And in every vision, that door was never built. When he became pharaoh at 19, he made a single decree. We will build Ra's door, and we will build it in this lifetime. He called it Akhet-Ra, the horizon of Ra. Not a temple, not a monument. An entire city, purpose-built as a gateway between the mortal world and the divine. The design was unlike anything Egypt had ever attempted. Every building was clad in polished white limestone. It burned your eyes. The great central avenue, 12 meters wide, was paved in hammered electrum, a blend of gold and silver. When the sun hit it at dawn, the kind that reflects sunlight like a mirror, it looked like a river of liquid fire running through the desert. At noon, you couldn't look at the city directly. The centerpiece, a colossal pyramid-topped obelisk sheathed entirely in gold, so massive it cast a shadow over the entire city at dusk, a shadow shaped like a falcon. Ra's sacred form. Khentkare didn't build a city. He built a message to the heavens: we are ready. Descend. But not everyone shared his vision. The high priest of Amun, a man named Nebuchadnezzar, watched the construction from the shadows of Karnak temple and felt something cold move through his chest, because Akhet-Ra wasn't dedicated to Amun. It wasn't dedicated to Osiris. It wasn't dedicated to any god the priests controlled. It was dedicated directly to Ra, bypassing the entire priesthood. Nebuchadnezzar called a council of the 12 high priests. Their message to the pharaoh was carefully worded, but the meaning was unmistakable. The gods do not need a door built by mortal hands. They come and go as they please. To build this city is to suggest the gods are somehow absent. That is heresy. Khentkare heard their words. He let the silence hang. Then he said simply, "If the gods were truly present, why do my people still die of disease? Why do the rains still fail in the south? Why do children still weep in the dark?" The priests had no answer. Because, the pharaoh continued, the door has never been opened. I intend to open it. He dismissed the council. Construction accelerated. The priests did not accept defeat. What happened next is recorded in fragments, on papyrus scrolls found sealed inside a lesser tomb near Luxor, their existence unknown for over 3,000 years. The priests began what they called the silencing, a campaign, not of swords, but of whispers. Workers began to disappear from the construction site, not killed, but bribed, recruited, turned. Stone shipments were rerouted. Gold supplies were shorted and blamed on thieves. Then came the rumors that limestone workers were going blind from the reflected light, that Ra himself had sent the blindness as a warning, that Akhet-Ra was cursed. The pharaoh's advisors begged him to stop. His own mother sent a messenger. "Come home, my son. This city will bury you." But Khentkare was deep in the desert by now, living among his builders. He ate what they ate, slept beneath the stars they slept beneath. And one night, according to the scroll, a master architect named Amenhotep the Younger came to him with a document. A list of names, nobles, generals, even 2 of the pharaoh's own cousins. All of them funding the silencing. Khentkare read the list, looked up at the half-built golden obelisk gleaming under the moon, and smiled. "Good," he said. "If they fear it this much, and it must be working." 3 years after construction began, Akhet-Ra was complete. The priests made one final attempt. On the eve of the city's dedication ceremony, Nebuchadnezzar appeared before the pharaoh in full ceremonial robes, flanked by 40 priests. "We speak with the voice of Amun," he declared. "Abandon this city, seal its gates, or Egypt will fall within a generation." Khentkare looked at him for a long moment. 40 priests, he said quietly, "and not one god among you." The next morning, the morning of the dedication, something happened that no one could explain. As the first light of dawn struck the golden obelisk, the reflection spread across the limestone city like a wave, and for 3 full minutes, the entire city blazed, with a light so intense it was visible from 40 miles away in every direction. Farmers in the delta stopped working and fell to their knees. Soldiers on the northern border shielded their eyes and wept. Even Nebuchadnezzar, standing at the city gate, slowly lowered his staff. Whether the gods descended that morning or not, history does not tell us. But Akhet-Ra stood for 200 years before the sands finally claimed it. And they say on certain mornings, when the light hits the desert just right, you can still see it. A shimmer, a flash, like a door opening. Was Khentkare a visionary, a madman, a heretic? Or was he simply the only person in his entire civilization willing to ask, what if we actually tried? History is full of architects of the impossible. People who built things that shouldn't exist because they refused to believe in the limits everyone else accepted. So what can we learn from this story? Life is full of people who will doubt us, who wants to see our downfall. Be that person who is like Khentkare despite all the people who didn't believe. Even his own mom doesn't believe in him. Make sure to continue pursuing that dream. Always be true to yourself and do whatever it takes to fulfill that dream.